From the station that's on your side, this is Channel 7 News Good Morning Arkansas.
Welcome back to Good Morning Arkansas. I'm so happy to be joined by Dr. Sauer today, and we are talking about sun exposure. Well, as we both know, Dr. Sauer, it's so hot outside. The sun is just beaming down on us right now. So let's just talk about the amount of sun exposure that we should have and maybe the risks around that as well.
People really need to limit their sun exposure. And I know that people are saying, well, we need sun exposure for vitamin D. You really only need about 10 minutes a day to do that, and you're going to be fine. So the rest of the time, you're really damaging your skin. Not only the DNA inside of the skin, which can increase your risk for cancer in the future, but also collagen production, which gives you those brown spots and can cause early aging on the skin.
Oh, okay. So what about protecting ourselves? Obviously, there's sunscreen. We'll get to sunscreen in a moment. But other than sunscreen, how else can we protect ourselves outside?
Actually, some real common sense can help. One, try not to go out in the highest exposure of the day, which is going to be from 10 o'clock in the morning till about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Go out in the early morning, go out in the later evening, usually when it's cooler. Also, if you do go out, protect yourself. Use protective clothing. There's plenty of lightweight, moisture-wicking materials that can help you stay cool. And a wide-brimmed hat. Guys, I know the caps are great, but it leaves your neck and your ears exposed. So you're going to want to go ahead and go more for a wide-brim hat.
Yeah, and I'm seeing more and more children, especially wearing the long-sleeved, like water tops, and I'm sure that's helping a lot too, just to protect their gentle skin that they have. So that's always good as well. Okay,
well, you bring up a really good point on that, because children are much more sensitive to the sun. We need to protect our children and as teenagers, because that's where the sun damage occurs on the DNA that leads to further development of cancer. And we're seeing skin cancer, especially melanoma, happening younger and younger. So protecting children and teenagers is certainly important.
Oh, yeah, that's good to know. There are a couple different types of sunscreen. I know there's always questions of like, what SPF should I be using? You know, is there a certain brand that's better than others? I mean, these are questions that we have every single summer, but there's also something behind the mineral sunscreen and the chemical sunscreen. Tell me more about these two sunscreens.
Going to the sunscreen aisle can be the most confusing part of the trip sometimes. There are billions of products, it seems, that are out there. First of all, you don't need anything more than SPF 30. When you see these SPF 50s and 100s, that is a sales gimmick to scare you into buying something more expensive. You do need to combine a chemical sunscreen and a mineral sunscreen. Current recommendations are buying something that has at least 7% zinc oxide. Some people get worried about that. Oh gosh, zinc oxide, it's white, it's chalky. Actually, 7% really avoids that. And you can buy either two different products and put them together, or there certainly are combination products. Some people may even want to go and find products which are a little more difficult to find. You have to do some internet research with iron oxide. Iron oxide is fantastic at blocking HEV light or blue light, which is known to cause collagen damage that leads to premature aging and the sunspots that we see on people who have lots of sun exposure.
What about our faces? I know that there's like certain like face sunscreen versus like other sunscreen that you just use on the rest of your body. Does it matter if we use that or definitely use that? What is your opinion there?
The biggest thing on those is you still need to have that combination. And I certainly would recommend at least getting that 7% zinc on the face. Yes, it may have a little bit of an appearance to it, but the protection that you're going to get is so much better. Also, zinc is good for the skin. Whenever we're trying to promote skin and wound healing, we combine zinc and vitamin C. So zinc actually is very helpful to the skin. So while it may not be the most perfect aesthetic, it is so protective and will protect you and your children to have long and happy, healthy skin lives.
Okay, is there anything else that you want our viewers to know about protecting their skin, or just the amount of sun exposure that they should be having during the summer?
Try and minimize your exposure as much as possible. And the old adage is, the tanner your child is, the healthier they are, is not true. Parents, you've got to protect your children. There's just nothing else. They need your help. The third thing, And the one that I'm horrible about, I admit it, I've got sunburned shins right now from kayaking. Reapply. You've got to reapply at least every 2 hours. And it is annoying and you get busy and forget about it, but try and reapply.
Well, that's another good point too, because some are water resistant, but that means that it's not waterproof. You still do need to reapply.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, Dr. Sauer, great tips from you as always. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Have a great one.